Back to the Michigan Lynx Tournament Expert Division opening round, hole number 7. Here we're going to be playing what I consider to be the most consistent shot that I found on this hole after spending a good amount of time looking for options here with consistency. This is by far the most consistent shot for eagle that I found. It is a thorn / grizzly bounce up depending on your drive rollout, but we're using a P5 side spin 1 plus wind 5 ball. You'll need APOT 5 plus, and you'll need thorn 8 plus or grizzly 8 plus or both, right? So the one thing about this drive is that it is a precision slice. I know that kind of sounds like right? But we're using a wind 5 ball, so keep that in mind. It's really not that bad as far as the tweaks go, but there are tweaks that need to be made on the drive in order for us to get the most consistency on the rollout, because we're trying to get into thorn plus yard range. So just treat this drive as if it was a par 3. It is a point and shoot, so it's not like you got to spend a bunch of time adjusting and all that stuff. At P5 max extension, we're going to split our bullseye on the bunker line here. All right, and then we're going to let it fall to rest. Then we're going to check our wind angles. And from there, we'll add spin and shift if we need to. And it will also give us the curl that we're going to need to play, right? So broke this down into 3 major wind angles. We're going to use these 2 trees here as our reference points. You need to kind of zoom in all the way so that you can see those trees. But those tree trunks are going to be our 2 lines that we're looking at. Line there, 1 line here. In the middle, we've got neutral. We've got tailwind over here to the right, and we've got crosswind over here to the left. All right? So let's go over the crosswind first. All wind strengths and crosswind, you're going to shift right half a ring, and you're going to use 3.2 top and 1 right. So crosswind is the only wind angle that you're going to need to change your spin set. The base spin is 3 top, 1 right. Unless you're in the crosswind, then you'll use 3.2 top, 1 right. You need that little bit extra top spin in the crosswind so that you can get the rollout that we're looking for. So crosswind, shift right half a ring and use 3.2 top, 1 right. Besides that, if you have 4.9 to 5.3, you'll use curl 2. 5.4 to 5.8 uses curl 1, and 5.9 to 6.3 is going to use base curl. I'm going to show you the curl. Not very much change, but it's enough to make a difference. Like I said, we want precision on this drive. In the neutral angle and in the tailwind angle, the spins are always the same, 3 top, 1 right. So neutral, wind 4.9 to 5.3, all you're going to do is use curl 2. If you have 5.4 to 5.8, you're going to use the base curl. And if you have 5.9 to 6.3, you need to shift left half a ring and use base curl. Right? That's in the neutral angle. If your tailwind 4.9 to 5.3, you shift right half a ring, use base curl. If you're 5.4 to 5.8, you'll use curl 1. And if you're 5.9 to 6.3, there's no change, just base curl, right? So those are the tweaks needed for the drive. It may sound like a lot, but it's really not, because it's a point. Get your wind angle, shift it if you need to. Add spin, fire away with the proper amount of curl. So it's actually pretty simple. And believe it or not, surprisingly consistent with these tweaks. But you're going to see when I drive this why we need to be fairly precise on this drive, right? Because we're trying to get it down to a specific range, and if we don't get it there, then we're not going to be able to play the thorn shot like we want to. You still have a shot at it, it just won't be the thorn shot. It'll be most likely a grizzly shot. But as far as curl goes, they are very simple. This here is base curl. So it's right curl so that the center line is touching the tip of the triangle. Right curl, just like that. Curl 1 is going to be touching the outside of the shot circle. Center line touching the outside of the shot circle. Right? Even though I have a hard time drawing on this thing straight. Right there. And then curl 2 is going to be center line splitting that upper hit and the outside of the shot circle is kind of like right around there. So we're splitting the difference between this tip and this tip, right? So this is curl 2, this is curl 1, and this is base curl. Got it? That's a 1, even though I don't know what the hell it is. 1. All right. So pretty simple there. It may sound like a lot, but it really isn't. Practice this once or twice and you'll have it down, no problem. If I can pull that off without timing out on the drive, I actually have plenty of time to spare on the drive, which is unusual for me. You guys shouldn't have any issues with this. Full overpower, full right slice, curl as needed, the tweaks as needed, and hopefully you'll be getting right down into thorn range like this one is here. Yeah, I was surprised at the consistency on this one. So using the Win 5 ball really helps, so we don't have to get crazy with the tweaks on the drive. If we was using Win 4, Win 3 ball on this, I mean the tweaks would just be overbearing. But as it stands, these aren't very bad. And because we're not adjusting, we have time to make sure that we get it right. Full slice, full OP. As far as the approach goes, that you see, we're trying to get it all the way down in the top left corner of that fairway right there, which is why we need to be fairly precise with our drive, okay? But that puts us in the absolute perfect position to drop this approach shot with consistency. I've not missed this with a perfect unless I screwed something up, okay? Been dropping every time with perfect, so long as I don't pull the wrong number or time out or whatever. Half a bar backspin only. With the thorn, we're going to have the tip of the ball guide aimed center cup and about a half a square short. The adjustment is P5 plus 10% at slider. You should be in plus yards. Thorn P5 plus yard numbers drop by 2% per plus yard. So 11 is 100%, 10 is 98, 9 is 96, 8 is 94, 7 is 92, 6 is 90, 5 88, 4 is 86, 3 is 84, 2 is 82, 1 is 80, 0 is 78% slider with the thorn, right? And you should be in plus yards if you're playing the thorn. If you catch a short rollout, clip the rough, roll out on the fairway, you dry, I don't know, you catch a dead bounce or something that I never seen, then, and you're in grizzly range, it's going to play almost exactly the same way as the thorn. It also plays P5 plus 10% at slider. Most of the time, you won't need to put any spin on it. You can just play it with no spin. And we're counting rings from min. 1 ring equals 1% slider from min with the grizzly for this shot. If If you don't need to put any backspin on your grizzly shot, then you leave the tip of the ball guide 1 square short. If you end up putting a half a bar of backspin on it, then you'll offset it the same way as the thorn, which is a half a square short. So if you put a half a bar backspin on your shot, you need to be a half a square short. If you don't put any backspin, you need to be a square short. The only other tweak that is needed for the approach shot is for low wind. Anything 5.4 or lower, minus 0.1 from your adjustment. It's a mostly crosswind shot here, and if you get the low wind, you're not getting enough wind push to the left. If you don't minus the 0.1, you're going to burn the right edge. So 5.4 or lower on the approach, minus 0.1. Other than that, we have not needed any tweaks for the approach. That being said, very good opportunity here. I know it's kind of unorthodox. It's a slice shot. We want to be precise with it, but this one has been consistent. It has been the most consistent that I found on this, and that is why I'm going with it, even though I don't really like dialing in slice shots for the notes. This, in my opinion, is the best option. So good luck. I hope you get the drop. We'll see you on the next one.